officially underway. All right, looks like we are officially live, guys. Will Lutz kicking off as we speak. Denver Broncos just kicked a field goal to go up 27-12. Looks like we are going to get out of here with a win over the Cleveland Browns to improve to 6-5 on the year. Broncos country is absolutely fired up right now, rightfully so. All right, guys. Browns offense is on the field. All right, here we go. What's going on, Alonzo? Good to see you, my friend. Keep that streak going, baby. All right, Walker fires to the outside. He completes it to Elijah Moore, and Elijah Moore has a gain of about 9, making it 2nd down and 1. This game is incredible, Garrett. This is awesome. We got 12 people in the house. It is 2nd down and 1 for Cleveland. PJ Walker stepping up, firing to the outside. He's got a completion into the flat, and that is a 1st down for the Browns, David Njoku. We got Merlot in the house. Antelope, yes, I thought we'd go live a little early and finish the game out together. That was a 1st down there for Cleveland. Clock is stopped at 4 minutes and 9 seconds. What's going on, Glenn? Good to see you. My fellow co-host on the 5280 podcast. Crowd getting fired up. All right, 1st down. 3 receivers set to the right side. PJ Walker fires, and that's incomplete. Dropped by Elijah Moore. Jaquan McMillan in coverage. Incomplete. Don't worry, Antelope. We will talk about the refs aplenty in the postgame because they deserve to be talked about. Let's just put it that way. This was a very poorly officiated game. All right, 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers set to the right side. PJ Walker backing up, and he is sacked. The ball is free, and it's recovered by Cleveland. Let's go. Big sack there. 47, Josie Jewell. These drops are beautiful indeed, Glenn. Looking back at the Dolphins game, and now the Broncos are kind of back. It's insane. All right, 3rd down and 19. PJ Walker trying to get the Browns aligned. 3.5 minutes left to play. Walker looking, firing outside Njoku. He's got a long way to go, and Njoku tackled at about the 42, maybe 43. So that's going to bring up a 4th and long. Texans next week. That's going to be a huge, huge game with a lot of playoff implications. All right, 4th down. Probably your last gasp for Cleveland here. Walker fires, incomplete. Let's go! And the Browns turn it over on downs. Incomplete! Let's go! And that is ball game, baby. That is ball game. Broncos offense taking the field, 2:53 left. Couple 1st downs will end this. 6-5, baby. Who would have thought? Here we are, man. Denver Broncos, after starting the year off 1-5, getting blown out 70-20 in Miami. We are now with a winning record, guys, at 6-5. How many turnovers? Denver only turned it over once. I think Cleveland's turned it over like twice or 3 times, if you count turnovers on downs. Start the planes, Antelope says. All right, Williams for a couple. Cleveland's going to burn a timeout. That's their first. 2:48 left, 2nd down and 9. We're over 500. Our culture has changed. We are back, and it feels damn good, man. We didn't just start off 0-3, Alonzo. We started off 1-5, and now we have a winning record. We're gonna go into December with a winning record. All right. 2nd down and 9 now. Gotta imagine it's gonna be another run here, nothing too fancy. Wilson under center. He's actually gonna, oh, that's a sack. Oh, geez, you didn't want that to happen. Cleveland's gonna take another timeout here. That is exactly what you did not want. Russ is cooking indeed. Dude, that touchdown to Troutman was vintage Russell Wilson stuff right there. Undefeated in November. Let's go, baby. We are now riding a 5-game winning streak. I can't believe I was talking about Caleb Williams a month ago. Me either, Antelope. Just goes to show, man, when you keep the faith. Absolutely insane. All right, it's 3rd down and forever. I wouldn't expect anything too crazy here. All right, 3rd down and a mile. This is probably just gonna be a run play. It is, it's a toss to Pirine. Pirine moving forward, and he gets inside the 50, and Cleveland will use their final timeout. Cleveland gets one more clock stoppage at the 2-minute warning. We're beating the best teams in the NFL right now. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was worried about this game. The fact that we were able to pull out a win in this one is so huge. You can now afford to lose next week to Houston. You really can. And it really won't hurt your playoff positioning too much. All right, here comes the punt group. Riley Dixon. All right, kick is away. Fair caught at about the 6. Make it the 7. No, make it the 6. And the crowd is fired up. 2.5 minutes left. Too many AFC teams making a playoff push. Denver's wins against Kansas City, Buffalo, and Cleveland are really going to help that. Really going to help that. Oh, sorry, boss. Have a great day, guys. Sean Payton is the magic man. This feels fabulous. I was also very worried about this game, Tony says. Winning does feel amazing. Incomplete. Off the hands of David Bell. And complete! Let's go, Jaquan. Jaquan McMillan definitely deserves a game ball today. He's been awesome. Same with PJ Locke. All right, 2nd down. Incomplete. And as Five Nights at Freddy's says, the Broncos have already improved on their record from last year. Garrett says, I thought we were going to lose today. I did too. I really did. I thought Cleveland's defense was going to be too much for us to overcome. Boy, was I wrong. And boy, am I happy to be wrong. All right, 3rd down. PJ Walker stepping up, and he goes down. That is a safety. Let's go. that Nick Benito who got him? Let's go! Denver's about to get the ball back. Let's see, who got that sack? Oh, it's Zach Allen. Zach Allen and Nick Benito, man. They both won up front on that one. Glenn says Peyton was definitely the right choice for this team. He was, man. There were a lot of fans that had doubt, but fact of the matter is, man, Sean Payton took a 1-5 football team and now has them with a winning record, man. Houston game will be so important. I mean, even if we lose the Houston game at this point, you'll have to take care of business twice against the Chargers, but I think that's very doable. Broncos were phenomenal today on the ground. 125 yards on the ground, over 5 yards a carry. They ran really, really well. 29-12, man. Feels nice to actually win by multiple scores for once. All right, here comes the safety punt. Corey Bajorquez. Fair caught, Marvin Mims. He thought about returning it. Can't do that.
He should have done that.
Yeah. All right. Offense takes the field. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left before we're officially done. Yes, we definitely need to split some games. Hell, if we can sweep the Chargers, man, that would be extraordinarily ideal. All right, they shave a second off the clock. Let's go, Jess. Welcome in. Good to see you. This has been a fun one, man. This really has been a fun one. All right, here we go. And one knee. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Looks like the Browns are content with getting this one out of here. Well, or they're not content. They don't have any timeouts. Finally, a comfortable win. Feeling great, Jess. Feeling great. Feeling some of the best I've felt in a long time covering this team and being a fan of this team. If we went against the Texans, it would be fantastic, Garrett. That would be basically like a punch ticket to the playoffs almost at that rate. We're playing old school NFC style football, Sean Payton's winning recipe. We beat the Browns and those formidable refs. Trust me, I have plenty to say about that. Plenty to say. But of course, right now, the crowd is just fired up. I always love these late afternoon games when it starts to get dark and we're now under the lights. Always good to get a win under the lights. Overall, I thought we did a really good job today, limited Cleveland's run game. When we turned the ball over on downs, we were able to capitalize, or when we just turned it over in general, we were able to capitalize. Yeah, what's a Broncos win without a heart attack or two? Exactly. Just gotta, get that heart restarted a couple of times. It's crazy. As of this moment, wild cards are Browns, Steelers, and Colts. That win against Cleveland is going to be huge, man. This was such a big win for us. This win has massive, massive playoff implications. Let's go, man. Crowd is all fired up. Let's go. Yeah. All right. Let's finish this thing off, guys. There's a beautiful full moon. Gotta make sure to get a good victory howling tonight. Let's go. Oh, almost dropped you guys. All right. Yep, they always play jump around. It's nice when you get to hear it and they actually are winning. There's flags down. Russ just took a knee, but 3 flags just flew. Again, man, the officiating's been putrid in this game. Let's see what the hell this is. Legal snap. So I guess Cush moved the ball and then snapped it. I don't know. I really didn't expect to see this after starting 1-5. Prove these guys want to win. Absolutely. The Nathaniel Hackett Broncos would have flopped over and died, and we probably still would only be with 1 win right now. All right, 2nd down. Here's your kneel. Take 40 more seconds left. Take 1 more knee. That sign says, you can't see it, but it says, we just want both teams to have fun and for Denver to win. And there's your full moon, Jess. There's your full moon right there. And there are your howls. Let's go, man. I love this. This is fucking awesome. I thought we were cooked after that South Bay beatdown. Man, it just proves that that team really needed that. We did, man. Because we are now a completely different team ever since that moment. Salty, petty officials, Jess says. Oh, boy. I mean, even the Browns had a couple of bad calls. Like, I just thought all the way around it was a poorly officiated game. Like, there was one where pretty certain that PS2 was holding on to, I can't remember, I think it was Elijah Moore, and they didn't call it. I was surprised. I was happy they didn't call it, but I was surprised. So there was some bad officiating on both sides, but I'd say more so on for Denver because, man, at least 3 times Denver drives got stalled thanks to kind of BS penalties. All right, Denver takes a timeout, 37 seconds. Never estimate a team that believes in themselves and each other. Exactly, Glenn. This team believed in themselves. They knew that they were going to be able to overcome this. And some of us as fans just have to have a little bit more faith sometimes. All right. Let me just make sure I got all my shit here. Oh, no. Excuse me. Can you hand me that drink that fell right there, please? Thank you so much.
50-yard punt.
All right. Riley Dixon just punted. Cleveland with 30 seconds to try to make this a little more respectable. Absolutely. Never give up, man. You got to keep the faith in moments like this. Oh, they're just taking a knee. Let's go! Let's go! It's over! Bye! Bye! Let's go, baby! Let's freaking go! Hell yeah, dude! Let's go! We got a much needed are now 6-5 with a winning record heading into December. Let's go! Always feels good, man. Always feels good to get a win. I'm so happy our defense is back to their usual prowess. Me too, Jeff. Let's go, baby. Fireworks going off. Oh, was it scoregami? Let's go. That's awesome. We got scoregami. There's never been a 29-12 score before. That's cool. All right, next home game is in a month against the New England Patriots. Let's go! All right, guys, let's go down and hit the field a little bit, shall we? Oh yeah, we're celebrating tonight, baby. Love it. Always love walking out of here with a win, dude. We're going to the playoffs, man. Tell him. We're going to the playoffs, baby. You heard the man. All right. Let's go, baby. Great coaching, I agree, Vaughn. Today was one of the more complete games that this team has put together. Offensively, we had a couple of moments for sure. Yep, celebration time, baby. Let's go, man. Crowd fired up. This one feels good, man. Not only did the Denver Broncos beat the Cleveland Browns today, they also beat the officials. Man. We were able to overcome some horrible ref ball in this one. I'm looking at the rushing stats now. 39 carries, 169 yards, 4.3 yards per carry, 7 carries with runs of over 10 yards. That's awesome. Then also, 70 total Cleveland Browns plays, 269 yards, 62 total Broncos plays, 294 yards, 17 first downs, 32 minutes and 48 seconds of time of possession. Good win for us, man. How high? Mile high, D-Rock said. That's right. Dude, always love in Power Field at Mile High after a win. We got 32 people in the house. How you doing, Sean? Oh, this is awesome, guys. Denver Broncos needed this win in the AFC, and they got it. Dark Green Marine in the house, saying let's go. DJ Capo, 5 straight, most wins in the NFL. Your Denver Broncos are the hottest team in the NFL right now, man. Hottest team in the NFL. We're winning in the trenches. That's the best part, man. Well, WVZ, I wouldn't go as far as to say this was as good as the Super Bowl defense, but this was an awesome performance by the defense. Wanted Court to get another touchdown, D-Rock says. Yeah, but man, let me tell you what, that touchdown to Adam Troutman was absolutely awesome. That was a really awesome play by both Russell Wilson and Adam Troutman. Oh, Shelby Harris walking off the field. Love you, Shelby! Love you, Shelby! I know Broncos country still has a lot of love for Shelby Harris being back in the Mile High City. Justin Simmons going off field right now, absolutely fired up. Russell Wilson's over there getting his post-game interviews done. The refs gave the Browns that touchdown. Yeah, they did. Love it. Trust me, I thought that the ref ball in this one was absolutely atrocious. That run defense makes me mad, Broncos fans says, and they need to tighten up. We'll talk about that, guys. I think the team needs to really consider bringing in someone like Matt Ioannidis. I really think Matt Ioannidis could help out this run defense. RD is dismantling these offenses. I mean, the Browns, they had some nice plays through the air, but overall, they got nothing done. We got Mark in the house. Steelers Nation Australia says, thank you for smashing the Brownies. You bet, buddy. You bet. We needed that one bad. Five fumbles, 3 recovered. The turnovers are insane, man. And that's what happens. These turnovers come in bunches. And when the turnovers come in bunches, man, thanks for showing love to Shelby. Happy to see him. Overjoyed to beat him. I agree. Shelby did get a bit of a standing ovation when the Browns took the field. Again, there's a lot of love for Shelby Harris here in the Mile High City. Sean says, so cool to see this live. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Oh, man. 62 total plays, 294 yards. Russell Wilson on the day, 13 for 22, 125 yards, 5.4 yards per attempt, 59.1% completion percentage, and let's be honest, a couple of those incomplete passes shouldn't have been incomplete. The ref ball, again, was just absolutely rampant in this one. Offensive line did a great job on Myles Garrett. Did not hear his name hardly at all. Myles Garrett was virtually non-existent today, and that was huge. I think next week will be a real-to-real test. Texans are no joke. I agree. That's going to be a big, big game. But I will also say, by winning this game, you kind of bought yourself a loss to the Texans. You can afford to lose to Houston, and it won't really hurt your playoff positioning too much. The Hackett Broncos would have crashed and burned. Yeah, they would have. The defense was way better than the stats. All those rush passes and open drops was nothing but seeing ghosts. Yep. I mean, Cleveland, dude, they had so many drops in this one. It was kind of insane, honestly. Antelope right on the 30 burger. Yep. I gotta say, man, I thought that this was gonna be like a low-scoring affair, like a 10-7 ball game. I was wrong about that. Lone Wolf says, I thought today was bigger than Houston. We'll see, man. Houston did lose today to Jacksonville, so that does help Denver's cause. We did need the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to take care of business against Indianapolis, which they didn't do. Go Broncos! So that does kind of suck. But again, man, just the fact that we were able to take care of our own business in this one, I'm not sure what the seeding is right now. Texans are due for a few more losses. Hey, man, if we keep playing like this, we can beat anybody. We can literally beat anybody if we keep playing like this. I'll be there in Houston next week. Rep and Esteban says, let's go, man. Be sure to make lots of noise and represent Broncos country well. I still have yet to go to a road game. I mean, I obviously come to all the ones here, but I've never been to a Broncos road game. That would be a really cool thing to get to experience, get to go into someone else's house and get a win. Broncos 6-5, and the Steelers won. Yep, Steelers beat the Bengals. That actually, I think, does help Denver's chances a little bit. What do you know, Steelers offense? When you fire Matt Canada, your offense will actually look competent, and you'll be able to get over 400 yards of offense. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and head in. Get one last look at the field before we head in, guys. All right. What a win tonight, Broncos country. What a win. All right, let's head in, head to the bar area, and finish this thing up here. If the defense played like they did today, we will beat Houston. Their quarterback never had that type of pressure. Speaking of pressure, Zach Allen, I thought, had a really strong performance. Nick Benito as well. Jonathan Cooper. This was a game where I said Denver was going to have to win in the trenches. They were going to have to win in a dogfight, basically, and they were able to do that. Every game for this Denver Broncos team is an important game for the year here on out. Yep. Again, though, man, if we do lose to Houston next week because of this win, it's not the end of the world, but a win over Houston, and that almost completely solidifies the Broncos' playoff chances. All right, guys, we are here. Got to get myself a chair, and then we will get going. It's awesome. I love being here. I love attending these games. One of the best parts of the job. I love it so much. The environment, just the atmosphere. If we won the ball at Houston, it's a good chance of victory. We ran the ball really, really well today. We did. And that was a big, big key for us. Again, man, running the ball, playing sound defense. I just feel Peyton is eventually going to have to open up a little bit more trust on Russ and open the passing game a little bit more. For sure, for sure. However, I thought there were moments today where he tried. It was just good defense by the Browns. Great job. Thank you so much, Esteban. Appreciate you, man. Broncos country obviously is massively, massively fired up after this one. Thanks for the live feed. You were 7 seconds faster than Fubo. Oh, nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's always nice to be able to start the post-game stream when the Broncos have the win firmly in hand. Over 150 yards on the ground is impressive against this defense. It really is. This defense was shorthanded today, so I thought that played a factor, obviously. Not having Anthony Walker, their starting linebacker, not having Denzel Ward, their all-pro corner, you know. So there were definitely some injuries that helped the Broncos' cause, but on the whole, man, I thought that we were able to hold on really, really well. We never got behind the chains except for really on one drive. We didn't really shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties except for the ones that the refs wanted to make up. Let's go ahead and have that conversation now, guys, because I know that there's a lot of controversy surrounding the refs today, and rightfully so. This was a horribly, horribly officiated game. There were at least 3 drives for Denver that stalled out because of bad penalties. Penalties that should have never been called. Phantom face masks, phantom holds, phantom offensive pass interference calls. I mean, just way, way too many phantom calls in this one by this officiating crew. I'm not somebody who normally likes to call out the refs like that or blame the refs if you lose, but at the end of the day, man, the roughing the passer, that was especially weak, man. I understand you're trying to protect quarterbacks, but if the quarterback just takes the tiniest little lick, they're going to get a flag. It's ridiculous. You can't play defense at this point in the modern NFL, and it's unfortunate. I feel next week against the Texans, we need to open up the passing game a little bit more. What does it say? Sorry. We need to open up the passing game a little bit more and see if Wilson is worth extending for next year, or we need to move forward without him. Again, man, I think right now Russell Wilson's playing well enough you can actually really entertain moving forward with him. I can't believe I'm saying that, but at the end of the day, man, pre-snap, Russell's operating at a high level. I don't see him missing a whole lot of throws out there. Sometimes stuff just isn't open. So at the end of the day, man, I'm really impressed with how Russell Wilson has performed in these last couple of games. He played well enough today. The fumble obviously wasn't great, but besides that, I thought Russell Wilson did plenty well. We never get any grace when we have a million injuries, so I'm not giving any either. The refs are... Sorry. Took my glove off here. There we go. The refs are more than made up for them. Yeah. P. Ryan was an underrated player in this one. Oh, I don't think he was an underrated player. He's getting one of my game balls today. He converted some big first downs for us. He was awesome on third down. I know P. Ryan's got to be really pleased with the role that they've been utilizing him in over these last couple of weeks. If I were Samaje Perine, I wouldn't be too happy with how I was being utilized there in the first several weeks. So you have to imagine that Perine's happy about this. Russ checking to those runs was huge. Yes, I love that you brought that up because it was. Russ is operating at such a high level at the line of scrimmage. When he sees light fronts, when he sees the defense in too high, he checks to a run. When he sees the ideal look for a certain play, he checks into it. That's credit to Sean Payton, first of all, for giving Russell Wilson the freedom to operate like that at the line of scrimmage. But that also obviously is a credit to Russ for being able to recognize what the defense is doing and getting the team into the right look. So I love that particular element of this offense that Sean Payton is allowing Russ to utilize. And that's something that with a young quarterback, I don't think we would get that. We wouldn't be able to get a quarterback who can operate pre-snap at the line of scrimmage at a much higher level. So, I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things that is the argument for keeping Russell around, is how highly he is able to be operating at the line of scrimmage. Really impressed me with most of those audibles Russ was calling. Awesome they were starting to master Sean Payton's offense. Yep, it's true, man. They really are starting to master Sean Payton's offense. Chiefs beat the Raiders. That sucks. That sucks. Or, well, actually, no. That actually helps out Denver because of playoff positioning. That actually helps out Denver. The pizza call was a good example. I mean, obviously, I don't get to hear Russ, so I don't know what the pizza call was. I know that he had some interesting audibles today. I'm curious to actually go back, watch the TV copy and watch the tape, see what some of those audibles he was checking into was, like the pizza audible. Max Verstappen was one that he used in the Vikings game. So, yeah, the Broncos have been kind of getting creative a little bit with their audibles, which is really, really cool. But again, man, it's all about getting into the right look pre-snap. You hear Russ sometimes. He'll get up to the line, ready, yellow 80. That's a dummy snap count to try to get the defense to show what they're in, basically. And then you'll hear Russ go up and go, hey, pizza. You know, make whatever adjustments he needs to make, and then he'll actually get understood, ready, green 80, green set, and actually snap the ball. So that's kind of the way that this offense operates pre-snap. Pizza was a Russ run. Okay. So Russ, they utilized him a couple of times in this one. Let him run the read option play where you read the defensive end. If he crashes down to play the run, then you give it off, or then you keep it yourself. If he stays back to try to play the quarterback run, then you hand it off. I like his snap count. Remind me a little bit of Breeze. Well, I mean, this is the same offense, so I mean, it is going to be basically kind of the same cadences. The audio for Russ was extremely loud. Then Mark Sanchez was echoing them. Oh, nice. I bet he called a good game today. I'm excited to go and watch the TV copy so I can hear how good of a game he called, because I bet he really did a good job at explaining some of that pre-snap stuff. Let's get some Victory Mountain Dew, guys. Again, that's probably the part that I'm just so impressed with Russell Wilson. Just once, I'd love to hear Russ give an Omaha. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, if they could work in Omaha there as a call, that would be kind of cool. I didn't like Mark Sanchez's commentary. He sounded way too personal with it. Interesting. I mean, I'm curious if any bias would be there, because he did briefly play for this team, obviously. Very briefly had a stint here in Denver. Broncos fan says he was funny. Yes, I'm curious. I want to get on and see how he did overall. I'm going to be really interested in that. Judy is underused and undertrusted. I got to be honest, man. Judy wasn't really doing a good job at getting open today. Today was more of a Cortland Sutton day, and I'm okay with that. I mean, you don't really want to force the ball to Judy when he's not open, because he's a guy that cannot win on 50-50 balls. So unless he's pretty clearly open, you don't want to force the ball to Jerry Judy. Cortland Sutton's a different matter, because he's somebody who can win those contested catches and those 50-50 balls and stuff like that. Cortland Sutton's a guy I'm more comfortable throwing the ball to when he's kind of blanketed, because I'm confident that at least 60% of the time he's going to get it. Sanchez is way better in the field than on the way better in the booth than on the field, and I think it's the opposite for Romo. I gotta be honest, Romo has not been great these past couple of years. Who hasn't quarterbacked for the Broncos since Peyton? True. Tony says Judy is speedy but not a fighter. Exactly. And that's why you only can really throw to Judy if you know for a fact he's open, because again, he's not going to fight to get open. That's a problem. Every week this season has been a Sutton over Judy week. Hey, man, Cortland Sutton has established himself as wide receiver 1. I'm okay with that. I really am. I mean, sure, Judy is talented and all, but at the end of the day, kind of like Dark Green Marine saying here, he's stone hands unless he's open. So, I don't know, man. I like Jerry Judy, but some of the things that we need him to do, he's just not doing right now. But we've got more than plenty of other guys stepping in. I thought Marvin Mims actually looked pretty damn good today. They got him involved on offense for a couple of plays. Samaje Perine, I cannot begin to express how much I loved how they utilized Samaje Perine today. I mean, dude, he was huge for us, especially on some third downs in the first half. I still think we need to sign a vet wide receiver after this season. They very well could, but granted, you have to remember we're also going to be getting Tim Patrick back next season, so that could be your potential veteran addition right there, is just getting Timmy P back. We need a second weapon because when it comes to fourth down, we know that Russ is going to look for Cortland. I mean, again, that kind of goes to show really why we needed Tim Patrick. Mims on that tip ball was huge. Oh, was it tipped? That's awesome. I didn't know it was tipped. That's really cool. That's something, again, I'll see a little later on when I actually go back and watch the game through. That's not something you'll always catch when you're actually at the game. I was kind of annoyed with the receivers not getting as open as they could, but shout out to the O-line for giving Russ a ton of time, absolutely. Against this pass rush, I thought that the offensive line was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Hats off to you, O-line. The whole unit gets a game ball. McGlinchey was great. Bowles was great. The interior was great. O-line, whole unit gets a game ball. I mean, he is injury prone, but at the same time, man, when healthy, he can be a dynamic player, and I know Sean Payton really likes him. Sean Payton really likes Tim Patrick and is really looking forward to getting him back. I don't think Timmy P is done in Denver. I happen to know that Sean Payton does really like him. So I think once he's back next year, Peyton's going to find a way to heavily integrate him into this offense. Marvin Mims will hopefully have a more extended role in the offense next season once he kind of works out some of those rookie bugaboos, if you will. So this could be a situation where all you really need is Tim Patrick to make that wide receiver room complete. Has Vance Joseph redeemed himself and he gets to keep his job? I think it's already pretty clear he gets to keep his job, and yeah, I'd say he's redeemed himself. There's been some moments, don't get me wrong, there's been some moments where I'm kind of like, Vance, what are you doing? But, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think you're going to do any better than Vance Joseph at this point. He's really improved his overall calling. He's gone back to what he's good at, which is more cover 3 and stuff like that. We're seeing less and less of the Vic Fangio crap, a lot of the too high stuff, cover 4, cover 6. We see a lot less of that now than we did earlier in the season. So credit goes to Vance Joseph for really going back to what he's more comfortable with, and that's working out well. How about Troutman? What an amazing pickup. I mean, dude, that catch he had was awesome. That was really, really awesome. Troutman, I've had some issues with Troutman throughout the year. Some of the stuff that he's done, some missed assignments, bad blocks, stuff like that. But today, Adam Troutman came up big for us when we needed him to. So absolutely awesome for that. Garrett was shut down. You love to see it. Again, man, we won up front today. Our O-line completely dominated their D-line. I didn't hear a peep really out of anybody on that Browns D-line. Zadarius Smith, I think, made one play. Outside of that, Myles Garrett was non-existent. The interior for the Browns, Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, those guys were non-existent. They were already down one of their starting linebackers in Anthony Walker, but Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, I thought, did have a really good game for the Browns. Secondary-wise, I thought Denver really did well against Cleveland's secondary. There were some points where receivers weren't getting open, but Cortland Sutton had just another phenomenal day. It's good to see pre-injury Cortland Sutton back, man. That's something that I've really wanted to see for a long time. Yeah, I'd agree, Jess. I think Vance Joseph has done enough to redeem himself. Eagles-Bills game is tied. Ooh, 59-yard field goal tied. Wow, that's insane. VJ deserves our apologies. I was calling for his head at the beginning, but I'm glad our defense turned around, 100%. I was always of the opinion that Vance Joseph, if he was going to get fired, wasn't going to get fired till the end of the season, so I was going to give Vance a chance to redeem himself, and he did. So good on him, man. It's good to see that this Broncos coaching staff is learning from their mistakes, man, and not making the same mistake twice. That's one of the biggest things. We don't see the same crap that we saw with Nathaniel Hackett, where literally the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's what it felt like the Nathaniel Hackett Broncos were like. So again, man, the fact that this team is able to overcome self-inflicted wounds, overcome ref ball, we were able to overcome multiple bad calls that did not go in our favor. And I mean, just the fact that we're seeing all these strides that this Denver Broncos team is making, I never would have thought that we would be this far along in year one of the Sean Payton rebuild. That just is a testament to how good of a coach Sean Payton is. We got ourselves a Hall of Fame coach, Broncos country. We got ourselves a Hall of Fame coach that was able to drag this team out of a insurmountable hole. I mean, I don't think anybody expected the Broncos to have a winning record right now with starting off 1-5. I really like 29 and Locke. Those are my favorite players on defense, aside from Simmons and PS2, obviously. 100%, man, and that was a big reason why this defense turned around, was because Jaquan McMillan started playing at nickel, and then obviously PJ Locke at safety. Those are two of the biggest moves that this team made in order to make this defense just completely turn around from one of the worst defenses in the league to now one of the best. Trade Judy this offseason and let Mims cook? I think it's definitely possible. I do.
Thanks, Dave. GB, this game was
hated the VJ hire, but he forced it down my throat. Hell of a job. He did do a really good job, Jay. He really did. And he's done a really great job these last few weeks. So credit goes to VJ, 100%. Once teams start taking us seriously in the coming weeks, got to see how they respond to true pressure. I don't know, man. I think today was kind of close to that, and the Broncos delivered. Our takeaways, though, seriously. I mean, obviously the Browns kind of gifted us one there with that Philly special, or it looked like they were trying to run the Philly special anyway. And then I can't remember, I think it was Alex Singleton that forced it out. Then safeties, turnovers on downs. This team is, again, just winning up front. They're getting the lucky breaks to go their way, and we'll have to see how long this formula is sustainable, Broncos country, but clearly it's been sustainable enough for us to win 5 games in a row. Yep, Locke is a win, dude. Locke is like, I cannot begin to express how impressed I am with PJ Locke. This dude is absolutely legit. He is playing starting caliber safety play right now. Eagles-Bills game in OT, oh, let's go. Yeah, they for some reason don't have it on any of the TVs in here. Normally they have them on the TVs, so I can't see what's going on there in Philadelphia. I'm still out on Vance, but decent job so far. The question I have for you, Broncos fan, is who are you going to replace Vance Joseph with? The only guy I can think of is Dennis Allen because of his experience with Sean Payton, but two things would have to happen there. Obviously, first of all, he'd have to get fired as the head coach of the Saints, and then we'd have to change our defensive scheme because Dennis Allen runs a base 4-3, and ever since 2015, the Broncos have run a base 3-4. I'm definitely watching the rest of the game. I think we should sit Kareem out the rest of the season. That's going to be a hard decision for me. I don't think it's going to be a hard decision, WVZ. I think it's a very easy decision. Kareem Jackson at this point has become a liability for this team. I don't even think he played that great in the Minnesota game, aside from the hit on Josh Dobbs. So, I don't know, man. I personally am like, yeah, I don't know. I think that at this point, PJ Locke has definitely earned that starting job full time. It's that rush defense. I mean, I'm just annoyed they can't stop the run. 160 yards a game, yeah, that's fair. But that's also, at the end of the day, personnel, I'd say. The Broncos need some help on the interior defensive line. I'm going to make another video kind of pounding the table for the Broncos to sign Matt Ioannidis. The fact that Matt Ioannidis isn't on a team right now is kind of interesting. but I think that he could make a massive impact for us on the interior. I know there are going to be some people talking about Shaquille Leonard too, especially in light of Josie Jewell not really playing that great. So I definitely think there are a couple of additions the Broncos could make on the free agent market late in the year that really could make a difference for us. But I'm personally kind of pounding the table for Matt Ioannidis in order to strengthen that run defense. What a freaking relief not to be rebuilding, considering different coaches and all that being discussed just a few weeks ago. It's been years since we had a solid franchise. I'm so happy. Me too, Jess. Me too, man. I don't remember the last time the Denver Broncos ripped off a 5-game winning streak. I mean, this is some of the best ball that the Broncos have played, obviously, ever since I started covering the team. But this is just, it's fun to see the Broncos actually be fun. It really is. Definitely overhaul that defensive line in the offseason. I agree. You need to honestly bring in 2 starters on that D-line. Or at least one starter. I mean, at this point, you're keeping Zach Allen, obviously. I think DJ Jones stays around, but aside from that, you really have to restock that cupboard. And even now, you can make a move. You can bring in Matt Ioannidis right now. He's literally just sitting right there. So, I don't know, man. I'm going to make a video about this because I really think the Broncos need to bring in some defensive reinforcement to help out in the run game. And for me, the top option that fits that bill is going to be Matt Ioannidis. All right, Broncos country, we are about to get kicked out of the stadium, so I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this joint up here. I know that they're probably going to come over any second now and be like, all right, buddy, it's time to leave the stadium. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was an awesome win. We are now at 6-5 and in the thick of the playoff hunt. It is off to Houston next week. Takamine says, I really want to beat the Raiders in January. Me too. End that streak, and that'll just be the cherry on top for the season. I know the Broncos got some sacks today, but for the most part, there's hardly any pressure on the quarterback. I'm not in on keeping Cooper or Browning. Benito is maybe showing up. I think Cooper and Browning even better than maybe you're giving him credit for, but at the end of the day, they're still not winning up front at a consistent enough basis, so the Broncos may look to bring in some edge rush help as well.
Dave, go ahead and send that one back up to you, PJ Locke.
Okay, Susie, thank you.
We need some beef in the middle. Yeah, man. So again, like there's another option. Shaquille Leonard at inside linebacker potentially could give us some help there. I'm not really too high on Shaquille Leonard personally. I think that at the end of the day, Josie Jewell, although he hasn't been great, low-key, he's been better than Shaquille Leonard. Shaquille has not been great this year. So that's probably the only option in terms of linebacker. But again, man, I'm going to keep pounding the table for Matt Ioannidis because I really think he can help us out. All right, Broncos country, we're going to go ahead and dip out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Before we dip out, if you could just do me a favor, leave a like on this stream. I would really appreciate it. It's a free and easy way to show your support for the channel. Helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out and helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I will see you guys back at the studio with some videos. Peace out.